Okay, the final measure of center that we're going to look at is the measure of center called the mode. So the mode of a data set is the value that occurs with the greatest frequency. So if we take a look at our data sets that we have here, um, let's take a look first at data set 1, and we're just going to look for the data value that occurs with the most frequency. So looking through this data set, I see I have 9. 9 only occurs once. I have 15, which only occurs once. I have 11, which occurs 3 times. 14, which only occurs once. And 13, which only occurs once. So the mode of this data set, the mode of data set 1, is definitely the number 11. It's the data point or the data value that occurs most frequently in that data set. So that one was easy. All right, data set 2. Hmm. The data set 2, let's see, I have 56 that occurs once, 38 that occurs once, 72 that occurs once, 71 that occurs once, 20 occurring once, and 55 occurring once. So this data set actually has no mode because there is no data value that occurs with greater frequency than any other. So this data set 2 has no mode. And it is possible for a data set to have no mode, as we've just seen. All right, let's take a look at data set 3. Oops, haven't even labeled it yet. Let's see. Let's go in here and label this data set 3. So yes, let's take a look at data set 3. In data set 3, I see I have 3 that occurs 3 times. So 3 is a value that occurs 3 times. I see 5. 5 is also a value that occurs 3 times. So unless there's another value that occurs more than 3 times, I think uh, we have 2 modes so far. Let's see, 8. 8 also occurs 3 times. So 8 has also a frequency of 3. And then I see 2 only occurring once and 9 only occurring once. So actually, this data set is multimodal. This data set has more than one mode. This data set has a mode. 3 is a mode of this data set. 5 is a mode of this data set. And 8 is a mode of this data set because they all occur 3 times and there are values that occur with less frequency. See, that's the key. This one has no mode because even though all the values occurred once, there were no values that occurred less than once. Well, technically. And this one, even though all of these numbers have a frequency of 3, there are data values that have frequencies less than 3. So this data set 3, has 3 modes. So we see that it's possible for a data set to be unimodal, have one mode. It's possible for a data set to have no mode. And it's also possible for a data set to be multimodal and have more than one mode.